Sabah al-khair. Right now we're going to talk about indefinite idafas in Arabic, or what we would call in the Arabic language al-idafa an-nakira. If you've been studying Arabic for a little while, you've probably encountered lots and lots of idafat. They're absolutely everywhere in the Arabic language. They're a really essential structure that we see all of the time. And they're used basically to express possession or to talk about the relationship between two or more nouns. And idafa, as you recall, can only ever be made up entirely of nouns. Here are some simple examples. All of these are currently definite. Kitab al-Talib, the student's book, or the book of the student. The book of the student sounds a little strange in English, but in Arabic, we're forced by the rules of making an idafa to keep that structure. Kitab, the book of the student. Ghurfat an-nawm, the bedroom, or literally the room of sleeping, the room of sleep. And here, Ra'isat Jami'ati, the president of my university, or my university president. Ra'isa is the word for president. It could be masculine or feminine, depending. My college president happens to be a woman, so I've made it feminine with a ta marbuta here. So all of these idafas are definite, and we know that because the last noun in each one is definite, either with alif lam in these cases, or with a possessive suffix, jami'ati, my college, my university. Sometimes, though, we want to talk about the same collections of nouns in the same relationships, but without them being definite. And it's pretty simple to do that in Arabic. We just remove the definite marker, either the alif lam or the possessive suffix at the end. So we wind up with Kitab Talib, a book of a student, a student's book. Ghurfat Nawm, a bedroom, which one? We aren't saying. Or Ra'isat Jami'a, a college president, a university president. If we're using these idafat in a sentence, we need to remember that they work just like all other nouns in Arabic. They're going to be modified by adjectives that need to be gendered just like the nouns. And since the principal noun of each of these idafat is at the beginning, we need to make sure that we gender any adjectives correctly. For example, if I wanted to say I have a big bedroom, I could say عندي غرفة نوم كبيرة. Kabira has to be gendered feminine because غرفة is a feminine noun. It wouldn't really make sense to say غرفة نوم كبير. That would mean like the room of a room of a big sleep. It would be very awkward and messy and incorrect. Or if I wanted to say, I took a short tea break, something that will happen if you travel to the Arab world, I assure you. You could say, أخذت استراحة شاي قصيرة. I took a short tea break. Here again, the break is what's short, not the tea. It's not as though I got a short glass instead of a tall one. So قصيرة has to be feminine because it's referring back to this noun, the first noun in the idafa. It may seem like a very subtle distinction between a definite and indefinite idafa. It is. It's a very simple thing to do. But when we're writing and speaking, we really do need to make sure that we get the flavor that we want, definite or indefinite. If, for example, I said to someone, أخذت استراحة الشاي القصيرة, I took the short tea break, it would raise the same questions that that sentence does in English. Well, did someone else take the long one? Do you get assigned different lengths? So it is important for us to think hard about whether or not we are referring to a definite or indefinite collection of nouns, and to make sure that our alif lams and our possessive suffixes are where they need to be to convey that idea accurately and clearly.